Okay, we'll get started here and call the meeting to order. Are we being recorded right now? I assume.
Yes, it's on.
And first order of business, I would like to welcome Myers
Thank you, sir.
to our committee. Thank you for your willingness to donate some of your precious time, so thank you.
Appreciate
We
the
gotta be
opportunity.
careful on our budget. We didn't have money
It's out
to
of
buy more
Staples.
staples.
Yes,
Yeah, it's okay.
Don't tell Jody.
well, maybe we can throw that in the budget to get some staples.
Yeah.
You said it.
We
I'll
have,
donate some. I've got more staples lying around our house for the stapler that we hardly ever use
They're
anymore.
my nemesis, staples. I spend all day pulling out staples so we can
Yeah,
scan.
exactly.
yeah, there you go.
Well, Janet, I think we'll
Years
just
ago,
turn the
paper
time to
clips.
you and let you kind of walk us through what
Okay.
you understand, realizing that this is probably new for you too, so.
Yeah, so first thing, if you look, there's two tabs at the very bottom. One is, the 2027 projection, and then there's a variable request. So I just want to explain kind of what we're looking at first. So what we're looking at right now, it's just a draft. This is not a final. We won't have a final till June. We're just getting started. We're just trying to figure out the numbers. But the variable requests, what the mayor did was he put up at the top, and you'll see it in this printed one, and it's the one that has the red on it. But initially, he put up at the top how much we had to spend, and then all of the things that were needed, and we went through and prioritized and just started saying, I want this, this, and this, and then we watched the money disappear. But first, the first thing we're gonna do is look at the hard costs. So that's what this is. So what these are the revenues. So you can see right here, in the beginning, it's property taxes and stuff. And it's a projected. So the far right here, this is what is projected. But if you look right here, they went through and this is what we have in so far. So as of March,
So remind me,
those are the
fiscal
actual
year
numbers.
is
June 30th.
July to June.
Yes.
So when we say March, we're 3/4 of the way through.
Yep. And so you can see what is actual and then what is projected. Now, believe it or not, I mean, there are people that don't pay their property taxes and stuff. So, and there are people that pay late. So we get some late ones in. But that's pretty self-explanatory. This is where all of our income comes from. So you've got property taxes, motor vehicle fees, sales and use fees, transportation tax, franchise tax, and the telecom tax. I don't know if you know this too, but we have on the old water tower, we have not AT&T, not Verizon, T-Mobile. We get paid for that. We have a
Tower.
tower up there. So that's what that money is.
That's telecom tax or that's
Well, that's
rental?
a tax, but we also get an income from that. There's just little random things that we get money from. Business licenses, residential building permits. We don't get any animal licenses anymore. We actually took that off. You can see we zeroed that out because we don't get that anymore.
We haven't for years now, it looks like.
Mm-mm. And we used to do the animal shelter. We
Are-
just didn't get a good turnout where we would vaccinate them and license them.
Are the fiscal year numbers the budgets from those years or the actuals?
Those are the actuals.
You mean 23 and 24
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the actuals.
and 25, I guess.
So
Yeah.
when it says year-to-date spend, when it's in
In revenue, it's actually revenue.
that's revenue.
Yeah. But their revenue, obviously, categories are a lot smaller, right? So there's not as many of them. We get a Class C road allocation. So if you look, projected we'll get about $120,000
Will you show us with your mouse as you're describing things?
right here. So yes, Class C road
Do
allocation.
you know what that means, Janet?
Yeah,
That's like gasoline tax or something,
it
isn't
comes partly from the gasoline tax, but it's a state allocation that all municipalities get, collected by the state and remitted. There are some times you can request additional, but I don't know whether we've requested any additional.
But this is separate from the transportation tax shown above.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's additional.
It's a special tax that Utah, it's been on the books for ever since I've been in the CPA, so.
But is that coming from gas tax or is it coming from some other
Most of it's from gas tax. There's some that comes from excise tax on tires and other auto
The
parts.
state allocates it to us.
It's all collected by the state and then allocated among all municipalities in Utah.
And
So
they,
when we see the transportation tax, that's not all of the gas tax that's being paid at the pump. That's only some of it.
and then it looks like a new one is liquor fund allotment. So we're gonna get $1,000 for people.
Wow.
It found me out.
So we'll take it. We'll take, I mean, the $1,000.
Is that just a state allocation too, or? how is
I
that?
believe so, yeah.
We all need to start drinking more, is that it?
No, that's passing out the sin tax dollars back to the local agencies to be able to deal with the problems in their community created by it.
Right.
This is so Mike can do more counseling for those people that have substance use disorders.
Go. So then zoning and subdivision fees, we've got a few there, fire department services. So you can see
No, are we on expenses now?
No, this is
It's
still
still
revenue.
fuel revenue. And then fuel reduction. Now, fuel reduction is something that it's our wildland firefighter group that goes out. And it's offset with costs, right? So, I believe Ted said in city council, they actually cleared about 105,000 additional. But we're projecting that this year that it's going to be a high fire year and that they'll actually clear 150. They've already been on 2
Yeah.
or 3 fires.
It's just a sad thing to say, yes, we're gonna make some good money this year.
I know,
Other
it's
parts of
so
the country
hard.
are gonna burn.
Just hope we don't burn.
I know, exactly.
I was gonna get rid of my big our travel trailer and I as I thought about the dry, I'm like, now I remember why I have it because I might be living in it. So we'll just keep it for now. All right, so then fiber revenue, miscellaneous services, city center rental, not a whole lot there. Park rental, not a whole
Is
lot
the
there.
sanitation garbage fees, is that a pure pass-through to the residents, or is there some money that's made off it?
It's a pass-through. They tell us what we have to charge. And then interest earnings, because we do have some money in savings. Okay, and then proceeds from the sale of capital assets. So part of one of the things that was proposed and approved is they have the old fire truck, the old extra fire truck, and they're going to sell that because they need a new ambulance.
You're talking about the pumper?
I think so. It's yeah, not the wildland truck, but the residential, the one they don't use, the old one.
The
But
old type one.
yeah, he knows.
Old type one.
The ambulance, I guess there's been a couple times that they've had a call and they go to start the ambulance and it won't start. And it's really old. It's, I think, I don't remember what year, 03 or something that they told us. So the plan is to sell that old fire truck and use those funds to buy an ambulance. So that'll offset that too. And then just all the other things.
1.4
We'll
million.
get 150,000 for that old fire truck?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're looking at about 100 for an ambulance. So we'll actually make a little bit of money off of the exchange. But don't worry, it'll get spent on a plow blade or something else that needs replaced.
1.4 million in capital.
Proceeds of bond issues, but I think that might be a pass-through.
It must be a pass-through because it's not showing up in the,
Yeah, I think it's a pass-through.
it's showing up in the totals.
It does show up in the total, but then there's places where down below where it'll show it going back out. It shows everything coming in and then later it picks everything out, right? So down here is what the mayor wanted us to look at. Now, a couple of things. This was not suggested by us. I actually wasn't going to run for reelection and I was going to push for it before I left. And then I got talked into running again, so I didn't. But Doral, who's left, is pushing for it, and that's an increase in wages. So I don't know if you know, but city council gets $84 every 2 weeks. And it doesn't even cover gas for the meetings that we have to go to. So it's not a big raise, it's just,
Is that yellow mark what you're proposing to go to, or
That's what he wanted us to look at was the
Yeah.
yellow, and what did he say about the blue?
the blue is the additional over here. So this is what it is right now. It's 18.
Oh, okay.
And then he wants to do an additional 7,200. He said what it would be an extra $100 a month for each council member and the mayor. Which again, it's not even for our time. It's just,
Covers your costs.
not
Well,
even
it-
really, like, I'm over all the events and I spend my own money and I use my own resources from my home and I use, you know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is, you just do. Like, if something is needed and you have it, you just do it. You don't think about it. But anyway,
So currently, it's basically $2,000 per council member and $8,000 for the mayor.
something like
If
that.
I'm doing my math right.
Yeah.
$7,000 for the mayor. Which is crazy to think how much work Ben puts in for $7,000.
He's here all the, but he's, we've had a lot of change and he's trying to kind of get that straightened out. And, when Brent got in, there was a lot of change too, because that's when Corbett and Craig had all that change happened. So, anyway, so he wanted to know your opinion on that, how you feel about that.
I think on the one hand, adding $7,200 obviously is nearly a 50% increase, but it still doesn't even approach compensating for the time that public servants put in. But then again, they're not running to get on in order to make a wage out
Yeah,
of it.
none of us did this for the paycheck.
So the question is there enough money there to offset the cost so it's not costing you to be a public servant because you have to spend your own personal money to go to all the meetings and
You probably have to 1099 that too for,
Is it 1099 or W-2?
It's a W-2. So you claim it. They take taxes out.
there's FICA on
Yeah.
there, so there's
It's
an
a
employer
W-2.
contribution.
Yeah. So, anybody else? Any
I-
objections? That's such a controversial
That's a
one.
Small thing,
It's such a small dollar amount, but
but I realize it's controversial.
At a $3.8 million spend, adding 7,200 to make it so they don't have to spend as much out of their own pocket.
well, and here's the other thing. We went through, remember that I said we have the other? We went through the other and we don't now because but we had 35,000 left over that we didn't allot to anything.
Oh, good for you guys.
And so he's pulling it out over here. He's saying, okay, we've got 35,000 left. I'm gonna make some suggestions in this blue of how to spend it.
so what do you think, Mike? What's your thoughts on that?
Everything everybody has said, it's not a ton of money out of the whole budget, but it's very controversial. I just wonder the impact on the community as a whole.
I think my response to anybody who had a problem would say, well, then you run
Yeah, exactly.
for council.
Find out how much time it takes.
Yeah,
Now, I have no problem with
I
it.
don't have a problem at all with that one.
I obviously can't have an opinion and, I kind of feel like if it was something I voted on, I would abstain myself from it because,
I'll say it this way. I also have other civic engagements that I do where I donate a whole lot of time to, an hour or two every day. But I'm willing to do my time, but I don't want my family's personal finance to have to suffer because of it. So I like having enough money available that when I drive everywhere and buy food for the activities and things, that I can get that reimbursed.
I served on a water board, Soldier Summit Water District for 7 years, and I never got a dime. And then all of a sudden, they did give us some money, at least to cover our expenses. And so that's been nice, and it makes you want to serve more.
yeah.
Because you don't have to outlay so much of your own money to take care of things.
Well, and I remember something that like Bob Otley told me when he was on, because he was the one that talked me into running. But he said, yeah, you get a little bit of money. It's not much of anything. And he said, I just save it and use it to buy candy when I need to for Santa. And I've done that too. You know what I mean? It's like he just kind of put it away in a savings account and then used it when it was needed. So it doesn't even necessarily go to us. It kind of, a lot of times the money goes right back into the city.
So what's the total per council? 2,000?
Currently, if I do 84 times 26, then I get,
Seven for the mayor.
and the remaining amount left out of the 18,000 was 7.
Yeah. So
What? I appreciate the comment. I'm wondering, and again, I'm just a new guy, so, what if the expenses were just expenses instead of wages?
What do you?
Reimbursed.
In other words,
Reimbursement.
yes, reimburse the expenses so that the community knows, hey, this is money out of pocket.
yeah, well, like in 2 weeks, we're going to St. George and we pay for our own gas, we pay for our own meals. Like, I don't think the city wants to reimburse that.
I think it would be more then.
It would be a lot
Yeah.
more. It'd be a lot more. There is a place on the budget for a little bit of council, because it's training. We go to St. George for 2 days and it's like seminars and it's gross. Like you sit in meetings from 8 in the morning till,
This is League of Cities and Towns. or
yeah,
something.
the League of Cities and Towns, and it's classes on water and government and how to stay out of jail and all the things, and technology and all the things. And you kind of pick and choose. We go based on what committees we're on and what we serve on and what we have.
Sure.
But we pay for all of that ourselves.
But to Mike's point, if we did it and saying,
Yes.
turn in your reimbursements, and we've got a pot of
Yes.
money
We've got
for
the
reimbursements,
$7,200.
we save on FICA
Yes.
because we're not paying increased taxes when we're doing reimbursements as opposed to paying wages.
I'm like trying to decide if I want to put it on here or here. I will,
What's the FICA on there again?
500. 5.5.
550. He said I could
Shoot.
write
I
on
say Add
this.
that to the total amount you're getting reimbursed. If by converting it to reimbursement instead of wages, we save the FICA, put the FICA in the total amount that's available for reimbursement.
I'm gonna make notes on here. It might be easier. I'm afraid I'm gonna delete something. I'll give these to Ben, my notes, but I'm making a note on here. He said, give me any notes that you guys have. Okay,
That might be a consideration and
I'll ask him about it and how.
be a win-win both ways.
I mean, you could theoretically take all $18,000 out and say, I don't get paid a dime.
Yes.
I get reimbursed for a fair amount of expenses, but I don't get paid a dime. And that would save us 1377 plus 550 that we could convert into more money available for reimbursements rather than going out as employer payment,
Yep.
employer taxes.
Although most communities get, in other communities, granted they're bigger, but city council members get like 1,200 a month or something.
Yeah.
They get, quite a bit. So,
Well, are we trying to benchmark and match this industry standard? Or are
no,
we just trying to do whatever makes the most sense for our small little city? And if we can save money and make more money available to compensate our public servants and quit sending it to the feds,
yeah, I get what
We
you're
could, we
saying.
could look at a couple of cities too. We could look at Elk Ridge and Mona and some of the smaller towns.
There hasn't been a wage increase for council and mayor in like 12 years. But the employees, I mean, they're employees and we have to give them wages. We're gonna keep thinking about that, but we gotta keep going or we'll never get done. So admin wages and salaries, you can see where I am now. So this shows Ted, 50% of his wage, Jody, 100% of her wage. This is what comes out of the general. Lori, 30% of her wage. Some of hers comes out of water and stuff. Wayne, he gets a little bit in code enforcement, like a stipend, but he doesn't get a wage. And then Toby. So those are, and it shows you the percentage, you can see right there. And so Ben has, in the past, he explained this to me, but in the past, they would do like a 4% cost of living wage. But it wasn't really fair because somebody like Lori, 4% was like $500. And then somebody who got paid more, like a Ted or what Chris was making, it was a huge raise. So
I'm not understanding though, we've got we've got Jody at 100% and Ted at 50%.
Because 50% of it comes out of another fund.
What,
Yeah.
what fund it's in?
Yeah, but overall, Ben is proposing a 1% cost of living increase and a 2% performance increase for Ted. And then a 6%, so now that we don't have Chris, we are hiring somebody,
Chris is no longer?
he's been gone for a while. That's why I'm
A month or
doing,
so, right?
yeah, that's why I'm doing
He's no
this.
longer engaged.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Sorry. Yeah, we didn't like, it was talked about in a city council meeting, but we didn't like advertise it or anything. But so they're taking on more duties. There's a lot more of the bookkeeping and stuff that's being done by staff. So Lori and Jody are both getting raises because they're having to take on a bigger portion of Chris's duties. And honestly, Lori was already doing a lot of it because Chris was kind of spread a little bit thin. And so Lori was already doing a ton of it. So that's why.
So
But you
the
can see the actual
raises
dollar
for taking
amount.
on additional duties, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can.
Because what was the total spend on Chris?
He was, he was over 100.
Yeah, 110 something.
110, 112.
Okay, so we're taking 110 and then turning it into $10,000?
Yeah,
Talk about
That's
being
a good
efficient.
win.
yeah. We will hire, we're hiring someone, so it's weird, but we're a municipality, so there's a lot of reports that have to be filed on time in a certain way. And this last little while, we were getting a lot of fines and different things because things weren't being done timely. And so we're looking to hire someone that's experienced with accounting with municipalities.
So we're not just saving it, it's just we currently don't have the position.
We're not gonna, it's not gonna be an employee. It's gonna be somebody that does it for a couple of cities and the wage will be really small. Like,
Subcontractor.
like a contract. So it'll be about a third of what we've been
So we're
paying.
just outsourcing that requirement to an accounting firm.
And we'll still have somebody to do our taxes, but we'll have somebody that just files all of our reports and does our FICA and all those kinds of things.
I did give Ben a name of individual that I work with right now on water board and. yes,
Okay,
he's
yeah, because he was gonna actually reach out to both of you and ask both of you if you knew somebody.
He's tremendous. I mean,
And he
I
knew
worked
one
with
person
him
too.
2 years and it's flawless.
Tend to Squire do stuff like this?
We do payroll things, if that's part of the work.
That's part of the work, but we're looking for somebody that has experience with government.
Public reporting.
Got a big governmental group, but I don't think they get into the details. They're mostly just auditors.
All right, so then I need to go back over here.
So I'll just comment on the raise formulas of doing COLAs plus performance evals. I hate that system. I think COLAs are stupid. I think you just come up with one number,
Increase.
one percentage, and just call it what you want to call it. But if you're trying to split the baby and call part of it cost of living, then that needs to be indexed against a standard benchmark, as opposed to doing these split things. And just say, this is what we, benchmark municipal wages over time increase by X%, or we do a salary survey every year and come up with these are market competitive rates. And there may be some years where there's no raise, and there's other years where there's a 6% raise.
I've recommended that actually to the mayor, that we do a salary review of the city employees and.
And I remember,
We did one a few years ago.
what's his bucket? Severin.
Severin did.
Yeah, came and did a fantastic government, because he was so familiar with the federal government, all the wage classifications.
Yeah, he did an awesome job on it. I thought he did an awesome.
And I think that did a good job of saying this is the right classification, but now keeping up with what's the market rate for those positions. We just need to know what job to compare that against, because you can get all this data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And just say, we're going to benchmark your raise, but I like that it's not just all cost of living and we're just matching, because if we've got a stupendous Jody that just is amazing, but we hire somebody else that's not really that great, I want to be able to give them more for performance than just everybody gets the same 2% raise per year because that's what the benchmark is.
That's smart.
I think that's a good
Now,
thing.
I say that because I've got 250 employees, so I can give the good ones a good raise and the bad ones a small raise.
Mhm.
But when you've only got 5 and they're all good, it's hard to say we're saving it on the bad one to give it to the good one.
Okay, so this next section is FICA, retirement, health insurance, admin audit. We have an audit done every year. Admin attorney.
Is the attorney fees appropriate for the anticipated litigation costs?
Yeah,
Are we still in litigation?
yeah. The Fuges have filed a couple more cases. And then we have a couple people
Is
threatened.
that the one that was always been a problem?
Yeah, it's been going on for 10 years or something now.
It's not 10, but it's not
Close.
much less than that.
Close.
Because when we moved in,
8.
Fuges were nice and happy and everything, but
Yeah,
then things soured a few years later.
I really like them. It's really sad. I taught their kids in primary.
Yeah.
Megan and I were friends. So yeah, probably. It just depends. We have someone else in the city that's threatening, so we'll see. And then elections, we won't have an election this year, so there's just $100
Can I
in
go back
there.
up to what's the admin professional services?
Yeah, what's the professional services?
I'm not 100% sure. I think that, I'm sorry that let's go look. So 13,500 is for scanning of records that we approved in over here. And then,
Older records that
Mhm.
have been.
So that if there's ever a fire, it's all the old stuff that's just on paper. And we're gonna do it in chunks. So it was gonna be a lot more than that, but we decided we would do like a fourth of it. You know what I mean? We're gonna spread it out. And then also we have a contract for our IT, stuff like that. So it's stuff like that we have contracts for.
But these are outside.
These are
professional
outside.
services, not city.
These
So
are not
that
employees.
13,500 scanning is again.
It's a
an
company.
Outside company. We're just gonna ship them off to Iron Mountain and they're gonna.
Yep, we're gonna,
Scan
yep, and it's going to the prison. Wherever anyway, they're gonna do it. They do it.
So there's $76,000 in IT?
It's not just IT, there's several items. There's a whole bunch of things that go into that. IT is only 1,000 a month, I think. So
Is
there's a whole
accounting-
bunch of things.
In my P&L, accounting is under admin professional services.
Yeah,
We probably want to look at that broken out and know what it is, but
yeah.
that's a lot of money.
Utilities, you got there, and then
The utilities seem to be up significantly. Is that just because of rates or is that because of increased usage?
I think it's just rates. But look at because it's gone up from 43. You know, natural gas and stuff is out of this world right now. With all this, with the war and everything going on. So I think they're trying to anticipate. And then also, let's see, traveling, that's what pays for our conference. Let's see, and then admin book subscriptions, that's like Polaris, a couple of subscriptions they have like that. Supplies and expenses.
Wait a minute, it's hard to see going across. The 60,000 is for insurance and bonds.
Yeah, it's hard to,
Right.
Okay.
right, it's a weird line because it goes down.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not stretched
okay.
out,
So the travel conferences is only
3,000,
So again, with the insurance, that's a significant increase from prior years.
yeah.
And in fact, it's interesting how much it's bouncing around for 4,000, then 53,000, then 9,000, then
Are we
19.
paying more because of our lawsuits? Is that what we're doing?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry, we don't have Chris anymore.
Well, that's something that needs to be explained. What,
Yeah.
60,000,
We have,
why it's so much and why it's so much more than historical.
We spent quite a bit this year though in that category.
mhm. Some of this stuff, I don't know what goes into all of it, and, okay. So, I don't know what this principal sales tax
Oh, don't worry, it's
revenue.
only 690,000. We can go on.
Ah, projected, I don't know what that is,
So scroll over to that note. This could be,
go away in 2027, but we won't know until evaluation has been done on the new bond.
So that's the bond.
Is that the bond we, yeah. go ahead.
I think that's the bond that we've had and we've been paying on. We have a couple of them.
Yeah,
Weren't we doing a new one?
We looked at those,
though?
remember?
one for roads, one for water.
We looked at those and you know, because you've been here and, so yeah, I think that's what we're paying on those.
so is this saying, let me just voice it. We're getting a new bond up above and we're retiring an old bond to the tune of 690,000.
Yeah, I think that's what it means.
We haven't done anything on
I can
it.
swallow that if that's what's happening.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Because we had a bond revenue of 1.4 million. So if we're retiring 690,000 of that, giving us a net increase of.
No, the
bond
1.4 is if we take out the new bond and it is being spent somewhere, so it's probably there. Part of it.
Yeah, like Aaron said, retiring some of the old bonds and then doing all of the major
We talked
projects
about
that we-
rolling that. We also are taking money we've had money in capital funds and this was already decided long ago. We already decided this previously, but we took all the money out of some of the capital funds and then out of the general fund to pay for some of the roads projects, so we wouldn't have to finance them. We did vote as a council to keep 250K in the general fund savings. Roads and water water fund is different, it's its own thing. But just for, we keep 250K in there for emergencies. So, and I'm sorry that I'm not Chris and I don't have all the answers you guys want. Sorry.
Jana, I would say one thing from a public transparency perspective. I think anything that is 5 digits, let's say, needs to be able to have an explanation either when the question is asked or have a note out to the side that says what all these line items are.
Yeah, and there are some notes. See, I'm sliding it
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, but there's a lot that you don't know. And when it's not just a 5 digit, but a 6-figure number, especially there needs to be an explanation of what that is.
And honestly, that's something we've never had and we've asked for all the time. And so I think some of it, yes, I agree.
And in the old days, it may have been, that's because we had Chris and he could just rattle it off. But if we don't have Chris, then we need to have it on paper. And it's better to have it on paper so people can refer back to it going, I can't remember what Chris said.
Even with Chris, it would have been great to have the notes down.
I think that's really wise what Aaron just said on that. Is to have explanations on anything over, what'd you say?
I'm saying 5 figures, anything over
Good.
10,000.
Yeah.
Anything
10,000 or
over
more.
10,000 or more.
Okay.
And then maybe anything related to wages, just because wages are stupidly so controversial. I guess staff wages, they're going to be in the 5 figures. It's the council wages that are not. But those are the most controversial ones, even though they're the least expensive ones.
And because I get that in my job a lot, I get beat up over like getting paid for what I do. And I just have to look at people and go, do you love what you do? And they'll, oh yeah, da, 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 da. Tell me what you do. Do you love it? Yeah. Well, will you do it for free? You know what I mean? It's like, people's time is valuable. Sorry. Inspection wages, all of this, there's a lot.
What's the plan review? There were notes out to the right of that one, that 17,000.
Yes, let me scoot over. Sunrise inspections. Says it should
Yeah,
probably
if
be
you wanna-
renamed.
If you want to reduce that just a little bit on the view, you might be able to see that, yeah, that's
I
probably
see it.
too much, but
I know, I'm like, hold on. Maybe just a hair more,
I can
But now scroll back to the left and see how much.
how much we can see.
You can type a number in there too, like if you wanted to do
Yeah.
60%.
see, that's readable for me if it's
Yeah, I
okay with
read
you
it.
guys.
Okay, that'll make it easier for me because it's hard going back and forth. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm
Absolutely.
getting lost. So let me scroll back down. You guys, we will be here for 6 hours if we keep going at this slow of a pace. I'm sorry. And most of these are not negotiable. A lot of these are hard costs. So it's not anything that we can change.
We're in the fixed cost area right now.
Yes, we're in the fixed. So fire wages, those are fixed. This is retirement. You've got fire equipment, supplies. This has all been approved. Fire training, fire discretionary fund is only $1,000, and that's usually for the fireman's appreciation dinner.
Janet, in column H, what is the difference between yellow and blue and white for that matter?
He said something about that. Janet, can you remember what he said?
I don't know, can you open your email and
Yeah,
tell me?
I can do that.
And specifically, our task tonight is to focus on column I. I mean, it sounds like you're saying, quit asking me about everything in column H. I only want you to look at column I.
No.
I just want to know what our role is
No,
supposed to
but
be.
no, I'm saying, look how many pages we have to go through.
I know.
We're only on- And then we have to go through all of this too. That's all I'm saying. So code enforcement officer, are you good? Do you want me to go back, up? Am I going too fast? You tell me. So inspection wages, that's Chris Tambasco. He does building inspections for us now. So it's not a regular city employee. He is, he's a contractor. He does inspections. So
Is he employed by Sunrise or is he doing this as his own consulting business?
as his own consulting.
Okay.
So FICA, all the things
If
there.
there's anybody I trust.
I know. Plan review, that was the inspections. We talked about that. Subscriptions.
Sorry, you said Chris is a contractor?
Yeah,
Tabasco,
yeah.
he's not currently building though.
Right, I'm trying to figure out, do
He does
we pay
inspections.
FICA for contractors?
He's not employed by the city as a contractor. He is a contractor, so he knows how to
Oh,
do
I see, but
building inspections. So
we're
he
not
does.
paying him as a city employee, or are we?
We pay him to do inspections and he's by inspection, per inspection. He doesn't get a flat fee or anything like that. He gets paid based on for
But he'll get
doing,
As wages though, or
Yes.
as subcontractor?
I think he's a sub.
That's what I'm getting,
No,
sorry.
but
I'm
the,
using
but the
contract.
note says Chris Tambasco wages and insurance.
Yeah.
I think the
So
insurance
that's-
though is probably.
Like a liability insurance.
But it's listed on account 4190, which is inspection wages,
Right.
as opposed to outside professional services.
Right, and it also says building FICA.
Go in on Woodland Hills gas.
Well, but
Okay.
funnily enough, there's no
What?
FICA
Go in to
retirement or
get on
health
the internet
insurance.
on Woodland
projected.
Hill, it's WH.
Oh, it got
gas,
changed.
Or is it Woodland Hills
there
office?
is.
So
Enter, it says
Yes.
enter the network
They took
security.
that, so it's part of
It may be-
2026.
Yeah.
it may be that it's appropriate,
Okay.
he is indeed.
Some
an-
information changed since the last time you
external employee.
connected.
I know, I'm trying to pull it up. Hold
And
on.
it used to be that we had.
Because somebody
Yeah,
hacked it.
Because we used to have Corbett doing it and some of
Okay.
Corbett's wages were
So now we
applied to
don't trust-
Makes
inspections.
sense, okay.
But now it's all being paid to an outside entity and
Cool.
that's why there is no taxes, health insurance or retirement
Got it.
associated with
Thank
it.
you. Sorry.
I can't join either.
But
I
there's,
can't join either.
there's plan
You can't give the
review,
number.
sunrise inspections,
It won't join, it's spinning.
but that's different
Well,
than
I'll
inspection
hotspot
wages.
Get
So
on this.
what?
I'm
what's up
on the
with that?
office one here, but that's a secure one. I can't.
Janet, do you know why there's both inspection wages and plan review of 17,000?
The plan review is for the general plan, and we have
And I see the note, this should be renamed as building inspection consultant. So it appears to me, without anybody to explain it, that we've got two different line items for the
Well,
exact same thing.
No, we've got Sunrise Engineering. They review building plans when people submit them for subdivisions and homes. Chris Tambasco goes out and
Oh,
physically
okay.
inspects.
Got it. Plan review versus
Mhm.
construction site review.
Yeah, Chris Tambasco goes out and makes sure they're doing what's on the plans, that they're following those. Ordinance Enforcement Officer, that is Wayne.
He earns every penny
Uh-huh.
dealing with.
Some of the stuff, he just looks at us and shakes his head and says, I do not want to do that.
I loved his article in the newsletter, not this month, but last month, when he said, quit whining about people using their air brakes and just be glad that they didn't crash into somebody on the way down.
Oh, I know, and then we had a big crash down at the bottom of the hill the other day.
Oh,
The road
really?
was closed for a long time. Mhm. And then somebody hit an elk yesterday and killed an elk. Made me really sad.
Where was that?
That's why I posted what I did, right at the roundabout. And so I suggested today, I drove down today and it looks like kind of the road to the salt shed, and of course it's right through there. It looks like that may become a thoroughfare for the elk to kind of go across and go into the fields. And so I said, maybe we need I suggested to Ted today that we need an animal crossing sign there. And maybe not even so much for residents, but for all the construction workers and stuff that are coming in and out of the city and people like that. Probably won't make any difference.
There's animal crossings all the way up and down.
I know.
Every road.
And I said, maybe it needs to say at the bottom, throughout the whole city or something.
That's what I tell my family. Watch wildlife.
Okay, police services.
You want me to
police-
read this to you, what he
Yeah.
wanted us to focus on?
The yellow.
Mike, what I would love the finance committee to focus on would be the column in blue and the accompanying notes in blue on the first tab. And then a review of second tab. I've broken the budget.
Now, wait a minute. Help me see that again. Column I, the entire column is blue. So
Yeah, but there's nothing in it.
no,
There
there
is in some
there is
places.
in some areas. But then what was the second thing? The column in blue and the accompanying notes in blue?
Yeah, so,
Well, the accompanying notes out.
He wants us to review those notes that are in there.
oh, okay. And was the wages. That's what we did.
But like, see
and the
there on
FICA.
row 93, I think it is, there's a number. Oh, and then there is a note in blue for
Mhm.
us to
Right.
review.
Yep.
So while I appreciate that, Janet, you've been
So
willing
that's
to
the
scroll
second, that's
slowly
the second
through.
tab over, is that what he's saying, or is that
It's the
Just the
variable
blue.
request tab down here at the
Just the
bottom.
blue.
okay.
Yeah,
So
we'll do
if
the
we-
variable in a minute.
If you want to just ignore going through the whole budget with us and say our task is just to review
Yeah, that's fine with me.
column I, where there's a number, and then look at the appropriate note.
And yeah, and this was the employee wages. We talked about that.
We already talked about that.
Okay.
He said the first tab is basically the old budget, which you are familiar with, is
Yeah.
mostly the fixed costs. I'm defining fixed costs for the sake of this exercise as the costs that we are already obligated to pay. The second tab is what I'm calling variable costs.
Yep, we'll go through that. And he said,
For the
Janet,
sake
you
of
know
this
that one
exercise.
well. And I do know that one better. He actually didn't go over any of this with us because we already knew this part,
So
right?
it sounds like the council is pretty pro the variable.
We went through it a lot. It was a couple of hours. Okay, so operating expense is the next blue section. And it's just more.
You're in a different fund now, aren't you? You're in enterprise fund.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am.
Okay, so
Fine.
Sorry.
Okay, I'll get out of this.
Thank you for doing that. That saves us some time.
Yeah,
so on paper, we are,
There's a black solid
next to
line.
last page, backside.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. Because I scrolled down to the next blue section. So this is the rest of the wages. Remember how
Yeah.
50% of
Right.
Lori's was in the other one? So here's the other 50%. And the same with
this printed
Ted's.
copy doesn't match what's on the screen.
Looking for.
I think this is the most updated because he went and added.
I know, I'm just saying,
What's-
Mike, don't bother looking there because you're.
Well,
not
some of
gonna
it
find
didn't print.
Mine matches.
I don't
What
have,
number are we on?
Well, they're not numbered, the pages aren't numbered.
Yeah.
No, I meant the.
6110.
It's actually right here. Look at me.
But the notes on there and the blue boxes
They cut
and
off.
such.
Yeah, those don't print
The
out.
notes cut off.
I'm just trying to track the numbers at this point.
Right here,
You said
operating
it was
expense,
6110. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
6110. So this is where the other 50% of Ted's wage comes from and the other 50% of.
So help
Cory's.
us understand where it's showing 30, 40, 20. Is that in prior years? That's what percent was being allocated to those funds?
Yes. They're trying to simplify it. Do you remember how before everyone said they felt like wages were kind of a shell game and nobody could figure out what people were really
Because there
getting
was,
paid?
it was being split amongst so many different buckets. Now it's basically either 100% one or 50-50, but that's,
They're
as
trying
much
to,
as it's
they're
split.
trying to simplify it,
okay.
make it more transparent. They want to be more transparent.
Well, he's at 156,000 right now.
Ted?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wears a lot of hats. Some of that is for fire, but most of it is for, he does for the city. And then other expenses, he has in blue, it's just the FICA again,
Yeah, it looks to me like all he really wanted us to look at was the wage increases.
so far. Yep,
That's everything that he wanted is in that blue column.
this is all just the blue. Okay, so we'll go to the variables. So this is where it gets fun.
So I don't know if we need to give him some kind of feedback, but I don't have any issue with those wage increases on any of either the council wages. Now Aaron's point about possibly converting the wages to reimbursed expenses
I wrote that
has some
down.
merit.
Mhm.
But on the increases for the other people, I don't have any issue with that at all.
And I wrote all that down, so I'll report that back to him.
I just eventually want to do a salary study.
Yeah, the formula for salary increases could be improved over the current format.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that we're paying our people what other institutions are paying them. And
You should know that the other cities call and try to hire employees away
yeah,
all the time. In fact, Elk Ridge also does not have a finance director at the moment. So,
Chris doing them too?
no, but they also lost theirs. And so they said, if you find one, let us know. Because if it's somebody that's just doing for 3 or 4 cities, maybe they would have the capacity.
Part-time.
Mm-hmm. So,
So was Chris's termination voluntary on his part or involuntary?
because that's an employee, I can't say.
Okay.
And I think this is that other tab, right?
Yep, yep. So this is the other tab. So again, we went through and so initially these were all the amounts. He did it so that it had an amount at the top and then we went through and approved. I'm going to do the mayor's and then we're going to skip the purple Jody because there's a lot in there and I'll come back to that, but we'll start with the mayor, council travel. There's, like Carrie is the representative for the ULC, whatever it is, UCL, whatever it is. Utah League of Cities and Towns. I have to say it that way. I can't remember an acronym. But there's another one that she goes to and she pays all of her own travel expenses. And then there's one that Jody has to go to for the city recorder. It's a training. And that hasn't always been covered. And so he wanted to increase it just a little bit to help cover their expenses that
I
they're
think
already
that's-
paying.
I think that's fine.
Is that 7,000 the total or is that?
That's the
increase?
total.
Okay.
And this is just this year's budget, but it doesn't tell us how much was in prior years.
No, this is the wish list. This is with what was left over in the budget, the wish list. So then 1,000 for
So,
mayor.
before we dive into the details, help us understand. We built all the revenues and we built all of the fixed costs and said, this is how much is left in fixed costs. And this is where we've spread our variable expenses.
This is every year that all the employees present to the council what they want and what they need.
Right.
And that's what these are.
We used to divide that up in the committee and each of us take a section of that.
Yep. And so that's what this is.
I worked with Corbett on his budgeting every year for several years.
So this is, and the mayor expenses and like the council discretionary, just so you know, like when people are no longer on council or if they've served on a committee for a long time and they quit, we give them a plaque and we, you know what I mean? Doral got a flag, you know, so these $500, that's what these small things go for.
I think that's great.
Okay, so then I'm gonna skip Jody for a minute. Wayne, for the planning commission, they have $1,000 that they can use. I'm not sure what they use it for. Maybe they have a dinner once a year or, you know what I mean? Something, I don't even know. That's what's in their budget. For the building, there's tools, books, dues, and subscriptions. You can see county recorder fees, Adobe, they have to pay for Adobe.
Yeah.
So that's the 1,500. Obviously, we approved all of those first. We went to fire, and if you look on the far right, there's a 1, 2, 3. So Ted prioritized those on what was the most important to him. They were supposed to kind of do like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but he did 1 through 9 there. But anyway, so replace outdated structural PPE, and he's just doing 3 sets. They're not doing all of them. They just, every year they try to do 2 or 3, and Mike would know this well, but they try to do a few every year and rotate them so that hopefully they're not all 10 years old or 20 years old, or I guess however long it is at the same time.
It surprises me that uniform gear takes priority over these other things, which in my thought seem to be more
No,
protective equipment.
no, the uniform gear, the pants, they wear off the fire
But this
retardant.
says shirts, hats, and gloves.
Yeah, they're fire retardant shirts and fire retardant gloves, and their helmets wear out and are no look good anymore after so
this
many years.
this is not the stuff we see them wearing around t-shirts and jackets.
No,
No, this
Okay.
is firefighting gear.
Okay.
yep. These are their shirts and their, like Rachel, I remember, this really struck me. It was when I was brand new, but at one of the fireman appreciation dinners, Rachel Skinner got up and said that her helmet was 12 years old and it was long beyond expired and probably not safe for her to be wearing. She probably shouldn't go into a fire.
What do they use a thermal camera for, Mike?
Determining if there's
For
hot
the brush
spots
truck- for
after
the
a
brush
burn.
truck.
After a burn, you just walk around with it and see if there's still something burning underneath the brush or underneath a rock or,
Hot spots.
yep.
So we approved everything in here. There wasn't anything that Ted asked for that we didn't approve, but I'm gonna tell you that he didn't ask for anything extravagant.
No, he didn't.
Like I say, only 3 sets of PPE, you know, so he didn't go anything crazy. So, yeah. I'm just kind of scrolling if you have a question on something.
Still paying for catering, gifts, et cetera this year. They did see. Okay.
Yeah, firefighter appreciation. And you know, they used to have it somewhere else, but to save money, they now have it at the city center. They used to, where they would go, they'd have to pay for the meal and it was a little bit more expensive. And now we have an old restaurant that's out in Tinnick, Eureka, that they do some catering. So they do it. So it's a little bit cheaper. I've had 2 of my kids call me now. And then,
I was gonna
Yep.
say, isn't one of them on a mission? Oh wait, no, those are your older kids.
yeah, I've got lots of other kids. Fire equipment repairs, maintenance. It says this is for emergency vehicle repairs and they have a lot of them. It's crazy.
I thought we got leases to eliminate the repairs.
We did, but we still have a couple of old trucks that we own.
Okay.
And so like the old the Wildland truck, the Wildland crew truck, we own that one. It's not on a lease. And then fuel reduction, just PPE for new Wildland firefighters, hand tools, new hose. Again, there was nothing. Now this, this all is paid for. This is covered. Remember how we had the 150 income? This is all covered. So the travel, the lodging, when they drive to a fire, they have to pay for a hotel room, along the way. So that stuff is covered. They earn it back. And then EMS, we also approved all of that. The yellow is the ambulance. And that, the money that we saw in the budget where they were selling the truck, they won't spend that much. They said it'll be closer to 100, but.
So why are we putting 150 if it won't cost
They
100?
can get an ambulance for 100,000.
Mhm. Because we approved up to, because they go on an auction and they go fast.
It's a used one.
It's a used one up on auction and they go fast. And so we approved an up to amount, but Ted has come under budget on everything that he's asked for so far. And he assured us that it will not be that much. But if we only approved 100 and there was a great one for 110 and they had to come back and get approval, we would lose that ambulance. It would be gone.
That makes sense.
So, yep. And then roads and public improvement. So the 1 million that's based on getting the bond. So that's not coming out of,
Okay, so then what's that $690,000 expense if it's not retirement of a bond?
that's based on us getting the bond and spending the money. I don't know what, I can call Ben, I guess, and ask him. But if we didn't approve this, we'd have to take the 1 million for income out that we had in this category. And we spoke with the banker, and this was while Chris was still here. We are pre-approved for that. We're not spending that money yet. Again, this isn't even approved yet. This is just, the council said, yes, if we get the bond and the bond goes through, then yes, we can spend that money.
Is there interest attached to a bond?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do we know what that interest rate will be?
6.
Our first interest rate was very,
There was one that was 0. There was one that was 2.5. I
Say
think.
I think the one we did on water was 0.
The one on water was 0. Because that was some kind of
And-
government.
And we got like 200,000 or 300,000 forgiveness.
Yeah.
So it was some government program.
Yeah.
So this one.
The interest on that, last fall, we looked at
Mhm.
whether it was better to get a bond and pay the interest or incur the ever increasing
Right, cost of
costs,
the asphalt. Cost, yeah.
the inflation on road construction, because the average increase, I can't remember now, it's like 12% or 13%.
Okay.
I'm calling Ben. I'll ask him your question. Okay, so the red, we don't know what this is for, so we're probably deleting that out. So that's why it's in red. So that probably won't be there. Hi. We have a question. Aaron is beating me up pretty good over here. I like it. He's putting me to the test and I know. So he has a question for you. I'm just gonna let him ask you.
Is this Ted?
Ben.
Ben,
Okay, so Ben, when we were up in the expenses, we saw $690,000 for a road.
Well, for the bond,
We're
I can find it now.
In revenue?
I know, I'm looking for it too.
It was,
It was something we weren't supposed to be looking at, but we were kind of looking at all of it.
It's line 4141,
Oh, good eye. Thank you.
Yeah, there it is.
6 digits.
4141.
Okay, I'm actually in my garden right now.
I hear birds chirping.
Where?
Yeah. We're in Woodland Hills. Always birds chirping, right?
Yeah.
Where are
So
you
what
seeing?
is
Right here,
the line item?
690. That's the one you're asking about, right?
Ben, it's labeled principal sales tax revenue refunding bond. And it's 690,000,
No, the pages.
and that's in the budget changes column for,
Pages is different than yours.
March 2026.
It's on the other side.
So it's not revenues.
No,
So you
We
expense
got a
that.
different.
yeah,
We were
tax
thinking-
revenue refunding bond.
We were thinking that we were getting a new bond and that was retirement of the old bond. But then when we got down to the
Shows us.
variable requests, the full 1,000,004 is shown being expended on the roads.
Okay, I'm still not seeing it, Mike.
So it confused us.
Doesn't say anything about roads.
Let me pull it up if I can.
I don't know if there's a note, the blue or the white.
Or you could walk over. Sorry, you're in the garden.
That's okay.
You find
Does
it?
he live that close?
We're gonna get to the garden.
I don't know where he lives. Right here.
He's across the
A
street.
couple hundred yards up the road.
Yeah, so I'm literally just right here. Okay, give me 5 minutes. I'll be right there.
Okay, thank you. Bye. We'll keep going. All right. So then, snowplow, we went through snowplow. And, we approved everything there. The salt is variable, so that's why that one's yellow. We just don't know, but we have to have salt. It's not really, some of these things I question why they're in there, like salt shouldn't, but it's not a fixed cost. I think that's why it's in the variable, right? Because it changes every year.
Maybe 10,000,
I'd like
maybe
to have another year
100,000.
like this year where we didn't.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too.
So they've got blade replacements for 6,000.
It's not the actual blade, it's the rubber edge. There's a rubber edge that they wear out and they have to replace. I can't remember what they call it. I learned a lot of things that I never thought I would know about. But anyway, they have to replace those all the time. And
You
then,
know that thing that goes around the fire sprinklers is called an escutcheon? Remember
oh, I did not know that.
that?
Misc truck parts.
Miscellaneous.
Yeah, that's just like
Yeah.
the lights they put on them and different things. And then fuel, and then repairs and maintenance, snow plowing. It's not anything to do with the actual truck, the lease part, it's just the parts. Because we have parts on them, you know, we have the plows and some of them have the dumpers on them. Did you see where that was, or do you want me to show you?
Just remind me again.
690.
You gotta go to the
41,
other tab.
41.
700.
Sorry, you ran, you're huffing.
Oh, I do that anyway.
You want me to point it?
Yeah, so we've spent, we're budgeting.
It's this guy.
Yeah, so that's this past budget. So we're budgeting 92,000 for 2027.
But why would we have $700,000 one year and 90,000 the next year?
And 90 there, and 87 there,
is-
and 84 there.
Principal sales tax. This is my issue with some of these names, is they're useless.
Yeah.
Principal sales tax revenue funding bond.
It's 41, 41, 7.
Aaron's got an eagle eye, so he doesn't
Okay.
know what that's for.
Maybe it's back.
I need one more piece of information.
Okay,
Okay, got it.
all right. So then, just at the bottom, parks, PTR has a budget of 1,500. They try to use it for beautification, stuff like that. City celebrations, that's for Woodland Hills Days and all the things. And then parks repairs, maintenance, that's for sprinkler repairs and trail replacement. And what the trail replacement is the asphalt. There's several places that crumble and fall apart, and we need to keep that good so that especially some of our senior citizens and people like that have access. We don't want people falling.
When you say the trail, you're talking about the asphalt trail that goes through the park?
Yep, and around and connects to the pavilion and stuff like that. So they, in sections, as sections break up, they'll go and just repair those sections. So that's what that is for.
And that parks, with the trail up, the switchback trail, would that be included in this budget?
In the PTR budget, the 1,500 PTR budget.
Is it paved?
No.
No, but there's water bars up there. And in the past, they've done some signage. One year when Ben and I were both serving on the PTR, we put bollards in so that side-by-sides that weren't wider than, is it 50 inches, Ben?
50 inches.
50 inches. If they're wider than 50 inches, they can't go on the trail because it's not safe. We actually, when we were up there working, we each had four-wheelers with trailers on them, and I was coming down and Ben was going up, and we could barely, just a standard four-wheeler. It was pretty scary, and Ben was on the outside edge. So it was pretty scary.
I encountered a Ford truck driving the switchbacks one time when I was hiking it. I couldn't believe.
We had a Honda Pilot once take its way all the way to the top.
It's crazy.
So that's what the PTRs goes to. So all good things that need to be done.
And the
So,
red ones, you guys have decided you're not gonna fund those?
or we don't, yeah, the chipper, that one, Ted's going to apply for a grant, maybe to get our own chipper in the city. And then we could do it more often, or we could have our fuel reduction crew, our wildland firefighters, they could do it for people for a cost, like they do now with cutting the trees and stuff. So that one's red because if
Depending on the grant.
we don't get the grant, then we won't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll go back to Jody's, and this is how we did it as a council too. We kind of skipped the purple because we were like, oh. So these are the things that are approved. Again, admin, travel, conferences, books, subscriptions, and these are different ones, but Cura, these are just some of the different ones that she has to pay for. Printer lease and computer supplies. One of the things, a lot of the computers and things at the city, the equipment's really old. And so just like they're doing with trucks and things, they want to rotate out, maybe a couple of computers every year. So they'll only be maybe 4 or 5 years old instead of 10 or 12 years old. They want to just rotate those things.
The new part there, sorry to butt in here.
Good, do it.
When we changed over to our new IT service provider, he built into the savings from our previous IT this line item. So the replacement of 2 computers a year is in the savings plus a little bit more with our new IT individual.
Our old company that we had before was substantially more. So we're saving a lot of money with the current person. And that's what we try to do when we make these changes, is try to make it more affordable. And then repairs, maintenance to city facilities. And I can't remember what exactly, because I was looking, it's separate. So that's just various repairs. There's a lot of things outside that need to be done. There's some windows that leak, some flashing that has issues. And so they're looking to get those repaired.
I would just go back to what we discussed earlier about anything over 10,000 be broken out a little bit more, if we can do that.
Yeah. Polaris and Nebo Interactive, those are just,
Is that a subscription that you have to pay?
Yes.
That seems pricey for.
But Polaris
Not really.
is the finance, so that's actually 2. So this wouldn't be a bad idea, Michael, for me to break it out. So Polaris is the IT system or the accounting system. And then Nebo Interactive is the new IT company. So they're around 1,000. Well, they're 1,000. So 12,000 of that is the IT system.
IT support, and then
4,000
4,000 for the accounting system.
and he's been here like at city council meetings and stuff, tweaking things and making sure.
He lives across the street from Michael.
And so he's been here. Yeah, he's great.
Red lines.
Oh,
During COVID, when my husband had to be home teaching and uploading, and the boys, anyway, he came and got our house set up and did a phenomenal job and saved my marriage. Rekey
That's 4,000 you ever spent, huh?
rekey the building and additional door locks. It's time to rekey the building. It's been a long time. We don't know who has what keys. There's been a lot of change, and so I just thought that would be a good time. And then the repainting of the city, and if you look, the flooring, they actually asked for more, but we cut it down substantially. So we approved these, but a lesser amount. So we kind of save these.
This carpet looks good.
Yeah, I just.
It's just where the employees, that section.
We're
It
happy to
gets
take
the
you on a
traffic.
tour.
Yeah, it's fraying on some of the doorways and stuff. So that's why we said sections. And so they think that they can, there's that door that locks that you can't get to where the offices are. We could get that section carpeted to that door. And then maybe the next year, as another section needs it.
So the whole 25,000 isn't approved?
No, it is.
It
is,
was
okay.
But it's only doing
50.
not all the.
It was
carpet there.
50, so we approved, and that's up to. They probably won't spend all of that. And then the digitizing city records, that was something half and half, it looks like. Front entry mat, $500. So if you go to the front door, the mat, the letters are peeling out and it's got duct tape on it. It looks really classy. We said we wanted that. We did not approve, that's why it's in red, the failing retaining wall at the city center.
Is it back here?
Right. We've had 2 geotechs that have come out and looked at it. One's giving us a written formal opinion, the other just said, nah, you still got another 5-6 years at least. So,
We had one person that said it was failing, and so now some people are like, oh, the wall is gonna fall down, but we've had 2 people look at it, so. And then the fridge in the kitchen, replace the fridge in the kitchen.
You can, is it a small fridge?
It's a small fridge,
And say.
It must be for 550.
Yeah.
but it just keeps things lukewarm at this point, so, or it freezes them.
it freezes.
It freezes their lunches. So-
We'll probably go to KSL for that.
Yeah, they'll get a used one.
Fridge.
HVAC repairs. So Jody was telling us that the AC units, she has to go outside and fiddle with them. Sometimes they won't, like it doesn't turn on, so she has to go out.
If he doesn't get electrocuted.
So,
You rip the fuse out, so.
yeah. And then we did not approve an audio system for in the big room when we have meetings. I mean, it was a wish list, right? This was a wish list and we just said, no, we're not gonna do that this time. But we actually, when we have a truth and taxation meeting or something in there, we have microphones held together with duct tape and we borrow some of Ben's personal equipment. He brings his personal equipment in that we borrow to be able to.
But even if we had to rent a proper system for once or twice a year,
It wouldn't be that expensive, yeah. It's not worth spending. That's why it's in
In
red.
full disclosure, Ben also stores it here. So we just
It's a fair
trade.
trade.
Okay, that makes it fair.
I'm getting the better end of the deal, I'll be honest.
So the meeting room audio system in here, for Zoom to Teams, it was requested that it get switched from Zoom to Teams. And that's just the cost to change it.
Yeah.
And the Zoom cost is about $1,000 a year. And that would be, so Teams is included in our Microsoft 365 account. So we're spending an additional $1,000 a year for Zoom. So the end of our license, we'll just flip to Zoom for an extra 148 and then it won't be an ongoing cost.
we're flipping to Zoom or you're
No, to
flipping
Teams.
Teams.
Yeah, to
He
Teams.
said, yeah.
This one is for bulletproof glass. I don't think we approved all of it. We decided to do part of it. All the cities are going to this now, unfortunately. So what we decided would be the most important is you've got Jody, whose window is right there on the front. So anybody that's level with the parking lot, that those windows be replaced with some bulletproof glass. So the mayor, you can still take a pot shot at the mayor if you think you're a good shot from down below, because he's on this side.
Lights on, I'm in.
Heaven forbid.
Is he replacing the windows or putting on, I know he sells us a film.
So we'll probably do film. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
You're good.
I was trying to stay
You know
away
more-
so you guys had more time.
You know more than I do, so.
I was just curious. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, we don't, actually, if people can listen to this later and for security purposes. And then,
This was already discussed in council meeting.
yes, but carefully. And then a cabinet shelf for the audio equipment in the closet over there. The audio equipment is sitting on a piano bench. So they want to get a rack.
And we're thinking of maybe selling the piano. And we think we probably need to sell it with the bench.
Yeah.
Probably.
Why do we have a piano here?
Mylan, so a lot of, like all these chairs, you know how they look like Relief Society chairs?
They
It's
are.
because they are. So when they were decommissioning a church, Mylan,
He just bought the lot.
he brought them and they were
Donated
donated to
them.
the city. So
Donated them to the city.
all of our chairs, all of our racking, piano, they're all former.
So
church
he
stuff.
needed the bench to put stuff on, and he got the piano because he had to take it with the bench.
Yes, pretty much.
He actually-
Sounds the same way.
The bench was always in the way, so we stole it to put the stuff on. So, yeah.
Well, I would imagine you could put that on surplus and get a buyer that'd be happy to take it. Even a resident would be happy to get.
We're gonna throw it up on the Facebook page first to a resident. So we're looking to sell the piano right now for like $500.
Great.
And so it's actually a line item.
Can you, do you have to go through the public surplus sites as opposed to just on Facebook Marketplace?
For anything over 500, yes.
Okay.
That might be where I got the number.
That's probably where you got the,
Probably got the number. And then the front door locking mechanism, you know how you can't open it? It's really hard. Some of our elderly residents can't get in.
Or the FedEx and UPS guy.
Yeah, there's that guy too. They think we're not here. They actually won't deliver stuff because they think nobody's here. So, then repairs to the outside of the city center. We've kind of talked about some of those. Repairs to the inside of the city center. An EMP protector, that is for the city.
For the computer equipment?
It's a whole building.
A whole
EMP.
building electrical system, like protection.
It'll protect the city center once.
For
And
one
then
hit.
It's a one-time use
It'll burn it up.
EMP,
For an
electronic
EMP.
magnetic pulse.
Because the city center is supposed to be, is supposed to be the gathering place, right? If something like that were to happen, this is where the citizens would come, and especially like in the winter, if there's no heat. So,
But,
In Ocean's 11, they called it a pinch.
yeah.
yeah,
but $500, that's just a surge protector from a power failure. An EMP, as in a weaponized thing, is not $500. It's $500,000.
No, it is. That is
it's Aaron's.
Aaron. So talk to Aaron Gilbert. He's our
I
emergency
don't
manager.
want to talk to Aaron Gilbert about that crap.
Okay. But that's what it is. It'll
That-
protect us. It'll also
One
protect
time.
us from a surge once as well. So the other option we had priced out was a full building surge protector, and that was about 35,000. And so we didn't have that much money in it. And Aaron said, well, you could protect the building for 500
For one time.
for a one-time use. So
It'll fry it up after that, but it'll protect
yeah,
it.
Aaron, to your point, yes, we would need to put the whole thing in a Faraday cage
Yeah.
to truly protect the entire building. But if an EMP goes off, and it takes out the grid and the grid overloads and starts, that's really the type of protector this is.
This is just in line with the main line coming in.
So I've been told surge protector is not the correct term and EMP protector is more accurate, but it's,
Kind of similar.
Does it go on the main line? I mean, coming in?
it'll go right in between the main line and then our panels, right nearly below you.
So you get one surge and it's gone.
Like a fuse.
Yeah, it's like a big fuse.
We'd have to just get a new one. We did not approve, you can see it doesn't have an X there for replacing the lights to LED. I was opposed. LED lights are bad for you.
What?
They are?
Uh-huh. Backup generator, cable and box. So we,
Is that for here or
for here,
not the pump?
we have one there.
Yeah.
We've got one, we already did that
So
one,
we don't have a generator now,
not for here.
just for the water systems.
We'd still have water, which is good. If I had to choose between having lights on at the city center or having water, I choose water.
I think that's probably a wise investment to have backup.
And
Especially in
just-
an emergency.
So you know, that's
situation.
just the cable and the connection box right there.
That's not the actual
The
generator.
generator, so Aaron, actually, another Aaron thing, Aaron has
He was gonna
a
donate.
generator that he would, it's on wheels, that he would then bring over. And when we get to the point where we can buy our own generator, we will still need these two items. So
But he would loan it to us.
So how in the world is just a cable and box 30,000?
Yeah,
But a
Cable's like-
generator,
It's a big cable.
yeah, I mean, this is a big building. But I can't imagine a little Lowe's on wheels generator putting out
I don't
enough
think
power
this is
to
a-
need a cable and
this is
box.
a,
That's
this
a
is a cat.
30,000.
This
This
isn't
is a
the
big
Lowe's on wheels.
$60,000 cat generator.
It's on big wheels.
It actually used to be the city's generator, acquired by Corbett in a surplus sell at some point. When Ted came on, we deemed that repairing it would cost around $10,000. So we put it up on surplus, where Aaron actually then bid on it and won it, and then spent the $10,000 and got it rebuilt by Caterpillar, and now has it, and then is offering it in the case of an emergency.
Cause he's our emergency
city.
management guy.
So it's,
Would it sit here or would he just keep it at his home and bring it here?
It'd keep it at his home. His home's right there.
but what's the point of
lives close
him
to that.
having it, but planning to give it to the city when
Well,
it's
he would
needed?
loan it.
That's
Cause
But
we
when
can't
it's
afford to
needed-
buy one yet.
But when it's needed, why is he gonna say, I'm not gonna use it for my house, I'm gonna take it to the
It's too
city?
big for his house.
too big for his house.
so then,
So then why don't we just buy it back?
yeah.
That is an option.
That's a good question.
If
Because he's willing to
sell.
loan it right now.
So if
Yeah.
we bought it back, it would be another additional line item to this, obviously. And that 30,000 would still be required.
Sure, but if we need backup power for the city center, which is a critical infrastructure piece, then we should get it, not just leave it at Aaron's house and hope he'll wheel it over when we need it.
We haven't ever needed it yet,
No, we had, well,
but
there have been a couple times when backup power to the city building would have been helpful. We actually lost a big, I don't know, Michael, were you here on when we had a emergency call? And there was power out.
I didn't go out. That's when they busted the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the door slid down a little bit.
oh,
And the
The fire
fire
trucks
truck came
can't get
out
out.
and took off the bottom panel of the garage door, which is dangerous
how
for
many
our
years ago
rigs.
was that?
That wasn't too long ago. That was 3, 4.
3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, I remember when.
So
It was
I-
strange because our
I
power
agree
doesn't go
with
out
you.
up here very often.
my thought would be,
There's no point in having a cable and box if we don't have a generator to connect it to. We either buy the full system or we don't spend any money on any of it.
Well, the cable and box makes us, we could also, there are a couple in the state, right? That are emergency ones, but
Yes.
everybody would be scrambling for them. There are other ones, but we can't even borrow those without the 30,000 for the cable and box. So the cable and box is so that we have the ability
To plug one
to
in.
plug one in.
Plug a generator in, yeah.
Without the 30,000, we don't even have that ability.
yeah, so right now I would say leave this in. We buy this year and then budget year 2028. Let's budget in.
So
The acquisition of a
is this
generator.
all with an electrician putting it in
This is with Alan Wakefield, yeah.
and making it work for us?
Yep. 100%. That's why that number is also larger than what we might assume with just a cable and box.
Yeah.
And then I should have got one. Is the council ready room open? New chairs for the council ready room. Does anyone object to that? Would you like me to get you one?
I don't even know
No.
the council ready room is.
You end up wearing the
Thanks,
chair. It's peeling off so badly that the chair ends up all over you. And when we have people come, visitors, it's a conference room right there that we meet in. And the chairs are so bad, they're falling apart. Is it open? I can get one.
Your
Need
code
chairs?
should open.
I'm gonna say that that's not a good and not a fair price because I just got reamed. I've got a whole lot of chairs that I'm trying to get rid of and they're only giving me $30 a chair.
What kind of chairs?
These are waiting room chairs for our clinic. And I called our office supply dealer and I said, this person's given me pennies on the dollar for what we bought these from you for. And he said, because the used office furniture market is flooded right now with so much stuff coming from California.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Yeah, and I wholesale agree, we should replace those chairs.
Let's
But I don't think you need to spend $1,600.
send that contact information to Jody, please.
How many chairs do you need?
I think it's 6 or 8.
3?
6 or 8.
Oh, 6 or 8, okay.
It's a conference room, so they're conference room chairs. And we'll have, Mike McKell here or somebody for a meeting and.
I say leave these in there then.
Just put Mike's name in place, Mike's chair, and then everybody else can have nice ones.
I'm just kidding, Mike.
Joke,
And
don't
you're
listen
going
to this, Mike. All right, any context though for anything cheaper, I think is good.
Yeah, we're always game for that.
So this is a water line in the old Public Works Bay for request for washing the snowplow vehicles.
That's here, right? Down below?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
Don't they already have something down
Probably a
there?
must.
Isn't there something down there already, Ben, for washing out the?
Yes, so
They probably drag a hose.
in this bay here, where
The
pump
service
2
bay.
sits, yep. That one does have a hose bib close. The other hose bib that we use for this bay in front of us, out the front, is hooked up over here. And so the hose runs all the way up and coils up at the front, and so we're always trying to have to jump through and trip and
I
that
think
types of things.
it's a wise investment.
Because there's 2 in the fire engine bays too, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Because I think I used one of those once when I was on the crew.
Yeah, so there is power washer reels. This power washer reel is broken. It doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
And so we've also found that just a hose speeds us up exponentially in cleaning those strings, so. That was a request from our snowplow head lead.
So that's we had some good suggestions since you're still sitting here, Ben. Aaron, do you want to talk to him about how to show council and mayor wages?
Well, Ben, were you ever able to find the
The
$700,000
690?
answer?
Oh,
See, I'm still trying to figure out which option to pick of the million.
That $4,000 investment in Polaris, we need to invest more.
Yeah, well, Ben needs to just do some training. Lori is the one who usually
She's the
navigates,
expert.
runs this with me, so.
she probably shows you, click here, go there.
Exactly.
We're wanting anything with 5 digits or more. Good explanation on what those funds are going for.
I love it. Have you had that in the past?
Not really.
No.
Okay. Perfect.
No, I think what we said is historically you'd ask a question and Chris would spout off an answer. And whether it made sense or not, that was the answer. And then trying to remember when you look back at it later and you go, I don't know if that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have it all in a notes section at the end.
There are good notes.
So if you look at like line 16 here, right?
Right?
It's 10,000 for repaint the inside of the city center. That you're good with, right? You're talking these, so if you flip to the other tab there, yeah.
It's this one. Mhm.
So if we go into, for instance, I assume if I can understand it, you probably can understand it as well. Is that a fairly
No.
safe assumption?
No, because the assumption is not only is this for the council and mayor and finance committee, but for the public to see these documents. So they can see out there in column J, column K, this is what this is, because as we have discovered, the account description line is not always very accurate.
It rarely is.
And
I
so
believe it
an
was
explanation saying,
designed-
this is what this is.
Okay, so, some of these though, like right there, so line 209, 4410, 0.702, right? 580,000 principal. So if you slide over, we're budgeting 61,000, that's loan repayment,
That one doesn't need
right?
explanation.
But
But what's 580,000?
That is the bond
What bond?
that was taken out. So you're wanting, what is the bond? Road bond.
Yeah, if I'm a brand new-
2027 road bond.
City resident that wants to look at this and I go, what's 580,000? It could just say there, city road bond, 2020, principal remaining or principal payments for this year.
Okay.
Thank you, that's what I
So
need.
here's one thing. So when we run the reports,
We've always
I
asked for that, so I
created
think
these
it's a good
for you.
question.
right?
These are breakout reports.
These are they're breakout reports as I went in and clicked on each one and pulled them out and extrapolated and all that.
Yeah, these are in here,
But
but
I will I'll work with Polaris to see if we can't get a better breakout.
And it may be, as I'm thinking through IT support on accounting systems, there is a sub-description when I double click on the account, the chart of accounts to give us that. And getting that out into this format may be difficult. So finding some way that there's some way that the public can have access, even if it's not all shown on one document.
Well, and I'm happy,
So just a question, Ben, on those notes in column J, are those things you added after the fact, or does
those
that,
are myself, Ted, Jody,
okay.
predominantly
That was-
column J is.
So it's
is
not
Ted.
coming from the system, it's not stored in the system.
No, this was me for the purpose of the budget process.
Sure,
Um,
that makes sense.
I also
It's a good
don't, as
thing.
like I said, I don't want this document necessarily easily accessible by the public right now, because it's a working draft.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
not a final. When the final's
also-
done, we'll put it out.
And I know I'm on the record here, and that's fine. I don't necessarily need every single expenditure Monday night quarterbacked, right? By everybody who's got a platform.
Axe to grind.
And so that's kind of another reason that there are a higher level categories. But I do also want to be as transparent as possible. I spend a great deal of my time right now just trying to answer a lot of questions by anybody with one, and I'm always going to be happy to do that.
Well, I think having that out there would help even the council, because even as we're going through asking Janet, Janet knew the answers less than there's more times she couldn't answer a question than she could.
Well, because it was
But-
what is everything in there, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what everything.
But if all of those things were lined out to say that's what principal sale use tax revenue refunding bond is,
But
we wouldn't have to spend 20 minutes hunting this down every time that question is
But I
asked.
have a-
'Cause
but I
that
have a
description
but.
doesn't make any sense.
Amen.
I have a but, because people already think that our budget is way too complex. And if we get a ton more detail, it's gonna make it even more complex. I mean, I'm just saying, we have that complaint. We had candidates who couldn't understand the budget, and they said it was, and I agree, it took me a while, and I still don't know complete detail of what goes into every category necessarily.
I think the biggest thing is currently without a finance director, nobody knows the answers to these questions.
They do. If Lori was here, she could give you the answer. Jody knows.
Okay, so for purposes of, well, let me maybe phrase it this way, then. If we're gonna have a finance committee meeting, we need somebody that knows the finances present. With all due respect to Janet,
Well,
having Lori or Jody here would be very helpful since Chris is not.
and another aspect of it is compile your questions, right? And we can get you the answers,
I've been making notes.
right? So we can still get you all the answers. Because I wanted this, because I thought, if I give this all to you guys in a week in advance, right? And then you guys can sit there and then we get here and then it's more of a Q&A. And we could do the same thing on the back end, right? And I still had to figure out timing and all that fun stuff.
Because we still have till June, like, we're not,
We're way ahead of the ball on this.
yeah.
Because I do, and I want this very clear, I do want you guys asking all the questions. I want you to know that we'll get you the answers. And we will never have another finance director under my administration. We'll have a bookkeeper, we will have, but we are the smallest city with a finance director. Spanish Fork, just 2 years ago, finally got a finance director. Due to the complexities of what they were doing.
That just answered my question, Jen.
Oh, good.
Oh, really?
Was Chris's termination voluntary or involuntary?
I said that I couldn't, it's employee.
Yes. Involuntary.
Well, I think the next step then is probably, we've got to have budgets done by when? What are your deadlines?
I have those. Did I email those to you a while ago?
The deadlines?
The budget process.
There's a timeline.
I will dig that up.
I
Could
don't
you
think,
add that to your notes?
if you
there
did,
for
I
me?
don't remember it.
Okay, I'll get it.
I have the full timeline broken out, when the public hearings are, the council meetings, all
I have
of
it
that.
somewhere. I have it, don't I?
I wrote it all down, documented it, and threw it away.
So when would you like
Digital.
us to meet next, you think?
As soon as you guys would like to, because we will get you all the questions that you generate from this meeting, plus whatever you email to us. I'll get
All
you
the
all those
answers.
answers,
What do you think?
and then
What do you think?
Well, when we started going down line by line, asking a lot of questions. And Jen's like, we don't have time to go through all of those.
Well, I
So
just
"Well, that's-"
said I can't do all these pages
Yeah.
because we'll be here.
And she didn't know the answers to a lot of them.
Of course.
Fair enough. And so we said, well, what were the instructions that Ben gave us to do? So then we looked at just the areas that Ben wanted us to look
you
at.
went through the blue column.
Yep, we did.
And there was only a small handful of them, as opposed
Most of
to,
them were wages.
Payroll related.
All of them, I think, were payroll.
They were
related.
all-
ones that you had noted for
Payroll.
us to look at, yeah.
On this tab, and then the entire variable request, right? So the way I structured this was I wanted to not go line by line in the council meeting, or we would have been there forever. There's the fixed costs, I call them. I'm using accounting terms for non-accounting purposes. Fixed costs that are locked down. We're obligated to pay them.
Like the interest expense, that was approved and decided years ago.
We're bound.
Can't say we don't like that, we don't want to pay it.
You know,
It's there.
our transfer station dues, animal shelter. I just carved all those out and threw them over here. So that on the council meeting, we went through the variable requests. The variable meaning the council has the opinion of whether we do them or not.
Yeah.
I included snow plowing in there. Right? It's high priority, but that way, what my goal was is I wanted the council to dictate the financial priorities of the city. In the past, the financial priorities of the city have been presented to the council with similar questions you guys have raised today. And we were kind of instructed to, I'm being probably too transparent right now for a public meeting, but we're going after it anyway. We were given enough information to feel mostly good with our vote. I'm speaking for myself as a former council member, but not enough to actually know where we really were.
It was a mystery.
I wanted the council to dictate the priorities of the purse. My job as the chief executive of our city is to execute the priorities the council demands, not to dictate the priorities, have them ink it, and then me execute it. I am trying my best to divest all usurped authority by the executive to the council.
It's supposed to be a council strong, mayor weak setup, but it hasn't been that way. The mayors have kind of dictated in the past.
And so
Where the council has asked for something and the mayor just says, no, I'm not going to do
So
that.
my question then is, when do we meet again? When is the budget due?
the budget due is in, I think it's the end of May is when it is the
So
final.
we should probably meet in a month.
Yeah, so we've given some direction back on what notes Janet's taken. Those will go to you, Mayor, or to the?
Probably all three.
They'll go to me, I'll then input them, and I'll get you guys answers,
Okay,
with Lori and Jody. Like the 690 that I'm incompetent on our software here together. I know, I've asked the question as well. I know there's a logical reason as to why it's there.
Well, it's just wild that
It's
it
a grant of
goes
some sort.
84, 84, 87, 90, 690.
Yeah.
I feel like Ted
it's a
explained
grant.
that, and I don't remember what he said about it.
I'm not sure if it's the UDOT grant, so the community development team that's been working on the general plan. But that doesn't see, I think that was 100 grand. So it wasn't the 690. That's the piece I'm not sure of. But
Okay.
it's a grant of some sort there. And I just need to figure out which one it is.
but this is an expenditure, so,
Correct. It's the expenditure of the grant funds.
okay.
And so the revenue is up in the revenue section. But I will go through that. So to answer your question in an extremely bloated, long-formed way, I apologize. I think my recommendation would be you guys meet again soon, 2-3 weeks or so, and then plan to meet again after I receive the final tax rate that the county assigns to us. That way, because right now these revenues,
You have some real numbers.
these revenues are all estimates, right? They're conservative, lowballed estimates. You'll probably notice that I have really only put over the tax collected number from what we've already collected this year across and over.
Yeah.
Past year
March
collections,
actual
I'm
numbers.
low.
There'll be some late ones come in.
And so I'm trying to go nice and conservative so that we don't have any big gotchas that we have to then cut stuff.
Every year we have to do this. We don't know what the revenue is going to be, but
Right.
we have to figure out the budget best we can.
So I like the way, if we'd had Mike read your instructions first, we would have saved a lot of time, but. So the next meeting, the purpose of that meeting will be to what? What will we be reviewing and helping to give input on?
Your guys's, in my opinion, my recommendation would be for whatever you guys study and find more questions on.
Okay,
I'd be more than happy to also request Lori not come in one day on time, come a few hours late, and then plan to come and join your finance committee meeting.
that might be helpful.
So,
And that way you'd have that responsive
yeah, so
information.
that's good. So I would think we ought to meet probably the end of April.
But is our intent then to go through the entire budget?
I would say go through your questions.
Well,
And I'll
but
send
so
you-
many of our questions is we don't know what this means.
I think we can
So
submit those questions.
submit the
before-
questions to me.
Yeah.
And we'll go through them. I want your questions, because I want to optimize the value of your time, because you guys are being paid even less than me, which is really sad on your part. Sorry, guys. But really what you're looking at is, I want your questions not to be what's in this.
Does
right? I want
everybody
you to
have
that
this in their
information.
email or just?
Well, I'm going to send you the budget that the mayor sent me with your.
You have the hard copy.
I'll send that over to
Well,
you.
the hard copy didn't match that, so I'm gonna wait for the electronic version. You
So
can
you,
share
so
it.
we can go
It should
through
have
that.
matched.
It matches, just the notes got cut off is what didn't.
Some of the notes were different.
Some of
I
those
think the
were
numbers
different
were the
and the
same.
shading of boxes didn't match up.
That's disconcerting because I printed it from this document.
Yeah, I think they did match.
Well, either way, you'll have this document.
Yeah, I prefer electronic documents anyway.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. I'll get it.
Ask your questions that are super high level. What is in this $690,000, right? And then I can start breaking those things out for each of you, and that way you don't have to ask that in this meeting, unless you still have questions as to the substance. I want you to be able to ask substance questions instead of just inquiry questions in your meeting next time. That makes sense.
So
Cinco de Mayo.
Tuesday night,
Tuesday night, is that the best night for
it
everyone?
doesn't matter to me. I think I'm
Every
pretty free.
night's different for me.
The first, because council's the second and fourth.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
So what about May 5th?
I think I'm okay.
It is Cinco de Mayo, but I can have tacos first and then come here.
Is that Tuesday?
That's a Tuesday
I
night.
can do that. Tuesday's my only free evening.
So Tuesday's a good night for you, Mike. Aaron, are you good on that fifth? And Tim, you're good? Okay. Then we'll
Next meeting.
set our next meeting date for the 5th of May.
Okay.
7 o'clock right here. And if we could have Lori in here, that would be
It
helpful.
will have to be Lori instead of me.
And I can also plan to join if
I
that works for
won't be
you.
here,
You're not going to be here? for that
but they
meeting?
can do it. It's fine.
Is that, are you saying there's some sort of conflict of interest or just you're not available that night?
I'll be in Kauai.
Okay.
There's a conflict of interest.
I didn't know if there was something about council member and staff member can't be explaining.
No,
finances.
I'll be in Kauai.
That was the same conflict of interest I had in the last council meeting.
Okay, we'll adjourn this meeting then.
Can you send this document also?
It's
It's
the
all in
second
one.
tab.
It's in there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'll send you the whole document.
Yep, perfect.
I received.
Sir.
Awesome. You don't want the paper?
I'll do it tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for
And do you
coming
have
over.
Mike's email? Make sure you
I
have.
do, I have Mike's.
Okay.
You got my email, didn't you? Happy,
Yes, yes, I did. Setting this meeting.
happy something,
Yes,
I can't.
happy dad.